All right, so uh, first way of getting real estate funding without any money, right? So we're going to use the family and friends method. All right, now there's pros and cons that comes with the family and friend method. Pros are it's probably, well, they like you, that's one, and two, um, they're probably going to want to give you the money because they like you. The con is if you mess it up, you're potentially going to mess up a relationship. So, um, there's a few tips on borrowing from family and friends. What you want to do is make sure you borrow from someone that can actually afford to let you hold the money. You don't want to borrow from Aunt May and you wipe out her retirement and guess what? You got into a bad deal and the deal went bust. So you make sure you want to borrow from someone that can afford it. And on top of that, while preserving the relationship, make sure you know what you're doing. You don't want to take someone's money on the whim thinking that, well, we're going to figure it out with their money. No, you don't want to figure it out. Make sure you're getting into a solid deal and you know that deal is going to convert eventually, right? Tip two, use real estate contracts or real contracts, I should say. You want to use real contracts because you don't want to do the family or friends type of business. At the end of the day, it's still business. You want to make sure the timelines are correct. You want to give them realistic timelines. Hey, don't say that you're going to borrow their money and return it in a month or two. Or there's instances where you can borrow someone's money and you can tell them, hey, verbally, yeah, I'll give it back to you in 6 months or a year. And then 3 months later, they're coming back. I ran into an issue. I need that money back. I got to buy a car. I got to buy a house. I got to pay hospital bills, whatever the case may be. So you want to set a contract and keep it business, right? So that's step two. Use real contracts, set real timelines, and follow the guidelines. Therefore, you can preserve the relationship in the sense of you don't want any bad blood and you want to make sure everything is on paper and there is no confusion because trust me, people forget. If it's all verbal, I'm sure you've been in the instance where you started, you said one thing and then about a month later, 2 months later, everybody forgot what you said and you said this and I thought that and this and that. So whatever. Um, Part three, like I said, don't gamble with uh, don't gamble with people's money. Make sure you're getting into a solid deal with enough meat in the situation um, to where they're going to be happy with the return and you're going to be happy with your return. Therefore, you can keep investing and doing business and they're going to be happy to lend you money again because they're making money, you know. So those are some of the tips with borrowing from family and friends. You want to make sure you borrow from someone that can afford it. So you let them know if the deal that you let them know there's a possibility that they may lose their money. Everything in life is a risk. Nothing is 100% foolproof. So that's step one. Step two, you want to do real business. You want to use real estate contracts. You want to make sure everything is in writing because people do tend to forget, especially when it comes, or I should say, especially when it involves money. Three, don't gamble with your relatives' money. Make sure the deal is solid. Make sure you have a good exit strategy and make sure everything is, as clear cut as possible. And that's my tips on investing or borrowing from friends and family to invest. So, with that said, please like, subscribe, and make sure you guys follow the Garage Billionaire podcast on YouTube, my channel. The link is in the bio. Um, I'm going to continue on giving you more tips on how you can invest in real estate without actually having money of your own. So stay tuned for the next episode.